Good day and welcome. In today's lesson, I will be going through exercise 3, which is basic extrude modeling. This is an assignment that's available on Ifundi. I will do this video in a few sections to try and minimize the length of the videos. With that in mind, let's get down to business and let's just start the session. Okay, so first things first, let's open NX. So if you have a look at this document, this will be our exercise that I'll be attempting. Of course, there's instructions that you have to go through. I'm just going to leave that. And then there's a few sketches that you need to take in my bare cognizance and stuff. Okay. So the best approach would be to go through the isometric view. To go to the isometric view, have a look at all the relevant data. Go to the next questions, of course, so that you can see what the design intent is in regard to the model. In this case, we can see that there's a lot of symmetry involved. So when you do your first extrude, you actually have to take that into consideration and see that, oh, there's symmetry. I can make use of that later. So I need to build that into my initial model so that I'll have maybe a few faces available and maybe the datum coordinate system, the position of it, make sure that it's exactly in the middle by making use of a symmetric extrude. So I'll see I can make use of symmetry here, draw one section and then of course mirror the next section. Okay. Then here I can see that there's some kind of a cutout. Okay, that's that cutout. Then of course here I can see that there's another cutout here. So I will have to make a cutout in this case, in this case, in this case. In regards to the holes, let's see. So there's another cutout, but it's only on one side. I can see that the holes are not changing, which means that in this case that stays the same. So already I can see that this will always be through all, that will always be through all, that will always be through all. So I will model it in such. So I don't need to put in extra steps. I can model that into the sketch already, as well as this radius. So a lot of it will be just duplicating the first sketch. I think that would be the easiest approach in terms of modeling design intent. You can also see that there's a few material A, B, and C. Then I can see that A, B, and C is defined in certain ways. So I will have to make use of that as well. A, B, and C is then values that will change in the follow-up questions. So I'm just making myself aware of where A, B, and C is. So, oh, C is the thickness, it's fine. A is there, B is there, and of course A, B, and C have their own values. So now the next step, see now I have my isometric view. So I think in my case, the approach would be to draw, that will be my front view, because I also want my isometric view to look the same. Once I'm done drawing the sketch and extruding and stuff, I want the orientation to look exactly the same as the way that I got it from the lecturer. Okay, also it's fine. So that will be my front view, of course my top view. And in this case, if this is my front view, this means that this will be the sketch that I draw on the front plane. Okay, now the only question is where to put my origin, and I think the best place to put it, there's a few places you can put it actually that's gonna work nice, but I'm gonna just put it here. There's no specific position for the sketch datum coordinate system, so I will start with a circle and then work from there. I see that there's some center lines. I must use some center lines, but I'm not going to use all of it. I'm just going to use the straight one and that one, just to show that angle there. These ones I'm not going to put in because it's unnecessary. If you work with center lines in NX, you'll have to give dimensions to those center lines, and that just complicates everything. Not complicates everything, it just makes the sketching more tedious. Okay, so now I know where I'm going to place my origin. So I'm fine. So Alt tab will make me switch between windows. Okay. So I want that window and this one. Okay. So I'm going to start a new sketch. Okay. So I'm just going to be a model. where I want to save the sketch, I'm just going to say additional. Is there a name given to the specific component? I don't see any name here. Okay, so there's no name specified. So I'm just going to call it, let's just call it extrude. It doesn't matter. In this case, it doesn't matter. No name was given. Of course, the units must be in millimeters. Make sure modeling is fine. Okay. Let's press OK. Okay, so that's fine. As I said, the plan is to basically sketch on the front plane. So I can go and select the front plane. Of course, you can make use of the Control-Alt-F for the front plane. And my strategy was to draw circles and so on. So I'm going to sketch a plane. So normal to the plane, as the plane is lighting up, my eyesight is perpendicular to that plane or orthographic to that plane. I know that the front plane is the ZX plane. That's what is selected, what is shown when I place my orientation in that specific position. So now I can see that the XZ plane is selected, so I can select it. And you don't have to worry or change all of this, because I want my sketch origin to be exactly in the same place as my coordinate system. So for me, that works fine. So I don't need to change any of this. I can just say, okay, just to make sure that everything is fine, I can just change the orientation. If you don't have access to the view tab, of course, you can just switch it on and off under when you make use of the view group. Okay, so it's fine. Okay, so again, F8 I think is perpendicular. Okay, or just change it to, or select front plane, doesn't matter. Just make it all. I'm just gonna draw to circle. I'll tap between stuff so that I can see what's going on. Then of course, best strategy, place the dimensions. Diameter 19. It's given as if this was a radius, you can change it to a radius, but in this case it's shown as a diameter, so I'm just going to leave it as a diameter 19. Okay, first line in. Okay, then I know that I can start from here. Sketch is there, so I'm just going to draw a few lines, stop there. Then I might go straight here, and then I can put a fillet maybe there. But I'll see how I'm going to handle that. Straight line again, draw until there. This one, I'll put in last. Maybe, I don't know. I'll just see what is the easiest way, but that's the plan. So I'm just going to see now. Hopefully I remember roughly what the sketch looks like. So moving away to the sketch and back again will give you an arc. Alternatively, what you can do is you can select the profile line. Okay, let's use a normal profile line. Select the profile line, go to the profile menu, select arc, and then it will give you an arc. And then you can just go on. Okay, so that's where I stop. For this section, just profile again. Or let me extend this, because I know that I'm going to use a fillet to create that corner. That's fine. Then I can just draw it straight, move away, go back, and that's it. So now I have a rough outline of what my sketches look like, but I want to address these values A, B, and C. So bring out my pen and paper, just write everything down. So A is equal to 57, B is equal to 18, C is equal to 34. In my material, very important, is PVC. Okay, so now I have my values. Alt tab, move between screens. I want to make use of expressions because I know that I'll have to change A, B, and C on a regular basis throughout the whole question. So I'm just going to put in, if the value was given in degrees, I will have to go here and change it to angular and then of course set it to degrees or revolution. So whatever unit was given, in this case it is degrees that was given, or in this case it was a length. So I can just say it's length and it's millimeters, and that would be fine. Okay. So let's just apply, see what happens, and then we can say B. So you can define these dimensions within the sketch itself, but I prefer to define it within the expressions dialog, so that I can have access to it when I'm busy with the access to it within the part navigator. You will see now what I mean with that. And then of course C is 34. So all of these are lengths. I don't have to worry about changing it, and then apply or just okay. So now I have access to my user expressions there. So if I need to change it, I can just double click on the expression and then change it. Okay. So in this case, I can go back. Right. So I know a few dimensions. So I'm just going to put in a dimension from there to there. Right. And then that is my dimension B. So already here I can place it in as B. Right. I know that this line in that specific arrow, that's point on curve constraint, so I don't have to make use of a what you call it, a center line to do that. So see that, just okay. You can see that that's also not nice. Okay, so that's fine. We'll have to put a constraint to always make sure that's horizontal. So when it comes to drawings, if it haven't been specified, you'll assume that it's absolutely straight or absolutely perpendicular or vertical. The same with angles and so on and so on. Okay, so here I can already see that there's some thing. Okay, so let's go back to my sketch again. So here I can see A is defined from the center of that to there, which is fine. So I can place it as is from there to that point, and that will be my dimension A. Okay. So whenever A changes, I know that it will change in here as well, keeping design intent always in mind. So this will be, okay, so I'm going to use this. It's already there, this auto dimension 13. Oh. Okay. Again, it's given as diameter, not as a radius, so I need to change this. Let's make it diameter and then 13. Of course, you can just place in radius. But I like, if the dimension is given in a specific way, I like adding it in the exact same manner. Okay, so again, this is now making use of the auto dimensions to save time. Okay, so that's fine. So all of this is governed by another dimension, 36. So I can just place that 36 in there. Again, defining the dimensions as given. And by making use of auto dimensions, I can see where I need to make a few adjustments here and there and so on if necessary. So there's a radius B there, and then it's shown that it's tangent and 14. Okay, it's fine. So I'm just gonna sketch in a line. So from here to here, right? To that midpoint, then I'm going to make it construction geometry. The reason why I have to do that, so here I because of the placement of my sketch origin, if you didn't place the origin in this specific manner, you will have to place a reference line here so that you will be able to have something to measure this angle from. Okay, so this angle is rep dimension there and there. Place it, it's 15. Okay, it's fine. It's not a problem. This is this is disgusting. This is not nice. Okay, let's see. I'll have to fix this, but I don't mind. We'll see how that works out for me. Okay, totally normal if sketches behave like this. So there's radius 14, and I'm somewhere going to put in that 12 point something as well. So let me put in this 12.7 here. Oh, if you don't want your sketches to behave weirdly when you put in certain dimensions and so on, right? If you don't want your sketch to behave like that, you can sort of like drag your stuff to be a bit closer, right? So that might fix it, right? So I think that might fix it if you put in this dimension, right? So you can already see that makes a difference. And then now let's see how the sketch behaves when everything is a bit closer. Still the same, it's fine. Delete that angle. Just make it a bit smaller. See, so if it still does that, then you know that, okay, it still does that. So it's fine. The sketch doesn't want me to do this, but it's okay. I'll just put it close to 15. Yeah, see? So just drag and drop, play with it around, get it to in approximate position, and then you can see whether you get the intended behavior. Okay, I'm just gonna hide. It's getting a bit busy for me, the auto dimension, so I'm just gonna hide it for now. But I'll get back to it when I have to check whether all of my dimensions is in. Okay, so now I can see. Okay, so in this case, there's a 49. Let me just place the 49, this line. Again, ever look at the orientation of it. So you have to make sure that if it's given parallel to axis, you need to place it parallel. Let's see, 49. Okay. Looks okay-ish. It's not a problem. Right, so yeah, I can see that there's a radius B in there with some tangency. So I'm just going to use a fillet in that case. Radius B, let's see if I can do that. That's radius B. Oops. And in this case, I would want to trim away all of the material, all of the, yes, so that's trimmed. Nice and trimmed. I know that this line and that should be in line. Okay, so it shares the same origin there, center point. Okay, so I know that. Okay, radius B. Okay, well, why doesn't it show radius B? So let me just make it radius B. It's fine. So again, have a look at what the dimensions. I know it's, oh, that's part. So now there's a few approaches. Let's see if you take an arc, connect a point, there. That seems straightforward. That was easy. Show auto dimensions. Oh, they give me a radius as well. So have a look at my sketch. You can see my sketch is fully constrained. Have a look at my sketch again. In here I can see that it's actually, there's a circle 12.7. So I can place that circle there as a 12.7. Use my auto dimensions again. Okay. Sketch is fully constrained without any auto dimensions, which means that this is the first section and it's done. So let's just draw, make sure that everything is fully constrained, all of the dimensions is as defined. I have my radius, I have the 12. I can see that making use of geometric constraints to constrain these two. Of course, you don't have to use a vertical alignment here. You can go to geometric constraints and select collinear. Collinear will give you, okay, again, auto selection progression is not on. So I'm just gonna do that so that I can select one sketch line at a time. Okay, so it really doesn't matter. The same thing can be done by making use of a point on curve constraint, point and a curve, exactly the same. So there's a whole bunch of ways to do the same thing. It just depends on what your personal preferences and so on. I like point on curve, so yeah. Okay, so this would be just sketching. Of course, this is not the only way to do it, but this is the most efficient way to do it. But it's always better to just plan ahead, see where you're going to put your origin. And what's very important when it comes to NX, in particular is that you always have to make sure that one of your sketch entities is connected to your sketch origin, right? So you either have a circle there, or you'll either have a connection that connects a specific sketch entity to your origin, and then everything will be sort of like anchored, and you won't be able to move any of these sketch entities. Okay, thank you.